The Supreme Court is allowing the state of Mississippi to force people to verify their identity when they use social media. Now, I'm not sure why you would allow this. And I mean, even Brett Kavanaugh has problems with this law, even though he did concur with the argument that it was probably unconstitutional. This is fascinating that this is being allowed to happen because you're talking about any time that you use Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, any of those social media pages, you now are going to have to somehow present that you are of age or whatever. You're going to have to present an ID to say that you should be allowed to use this. Now, I find this overreaching. I find it idiotic. I find it so many things. But let's get into this news article. Also, hit like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Now, this came about from NPR. Yes, I know it's NPR, but still, this was the best page I could find on this. Supreme Court on Thursday refused to intervene in a lower court decision that affirmed the Mississippi law requiring users to verify their ages before using social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. The Mississippi law is far broader than a Supreme Court ruling just weeks ago that upheld a Texas law mandating age verification to access sites with very explicit material. Writing for the court's conservative supermajority in June, Justice Clarence Thomas held that requiring adults to verify their age prior to using the pages I'm talking about, did not violate the First Amendment's free speech clause because it is important to shield children from this explicit content. In contrast, the Mississippi law requires all users to verify their ages before using common social media sites ranging from Facebook to Nextdoor, a social media site that connects people to their nearby neighbors. In addition to the age verification rule, the Mississippi law requires social media websites to work to prevent children from accessing harmful materials and prohibits minors from using social media websites such as Instagram and YouTube without parental consent. NetChoice, a tech industry association committed to protecting online freedom, sued, arguing that the law unconstitutionally restricts 9 of its member websites, including those mentioned above. NetChoice argued that the law violates the First Amendment's guarantee of free speech without governmental interference, the monitoring and censorship requirements for vague categories of speech. NetChoice argued limits individuals' access to important information ranging from university professors' online lectures to statements from political leaders and other creative content. Though it is within parents' interest to protect their children from harmful content, said NetChoice, there are other tools such as web browser parental controls that parents can use to regulate their children's online use. A district court agreed with NetChoice, temporarily stopping the Mississippi law from going into effect while proceedings continued in the lower courts. But the conservative Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals lifted the temporary block without addressing whether the law violates the First Amendment. Justice Brett Kavanaugh concurred with the court's order Thursday, but wrote, in short, under the court's case law as it currently stands, the Mississippi law is likely unconstitutional. Nevertheless, because NetChoice has not sufficiently demonstrated that the balance of harms and equities favors it at this time, I concur with the court's denial of the application for interim relief. The Supreme Court refused to block the Fifth Circuit Court's decision allowing, at least temporarily, the Mississippi law to go into effect. You know, we have enough censorship and stupidity going on these social media websites to not want to allow the government to do such a thing. This is just, it's the stupidest of tyranny. You are stopping somebody's free speech because this is where most people speak out nowadays. It is idiotic and it needs to be stopped. You and I both know that no matter what your political ideology is, you should be allowed to speak what you believe. You should be able to give facts, and you shouldn't have government interfering in it. Let me tell you something. I ain't a big fan of this garbage. And that's exactly what it is. It's garbage. We need to stop this. You folks down in Mississippi, y'all might want to consider stopping your members of the state legislature from doing stupid crap like this. It's government should have no say when it comes to things like this. Okay, I can understand the websites that they did block. You know, certain pictures kids should not have. It's an actual adult thing. There's a reason why they say you got to be 18 to be on here. And it is nice that there are ways to prove that. But this is social media. Social media is how people communicate. While I don't exactly want to see kids constantly on social media, this is going too far. Even, you know I'm a conservative. I've always been a conservative, but that's just it. Conservative in this country is smallest government with the least interference from said government. This ain't that. This is a whole lot of interference into something they should never have gotten into. Tell me if you agree with me. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Well, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.